there in the Intentional Advisor community. This is Lucila Williams bringing you the Built with Purpose video blog. Have you ever heard the term cognitive dissonance? Whether you have or not, it may be sabotaging your success. So I want to share with you an example of what cognitive dissonance might look like in your practice. So imagine you're in a discovery meeting with a potential client and you're going through the process. It's all going pretty well. You feel a sense of rapport building. Maybe they even trust you a little bit. And you're at the end of your meeting and it's time to ask them to hire you. But this is what's going on in your head. I think I'm going to charge them $3,000 because I think that's what other advisors are charging. I'm pretty sure I'm worth it, but to be honest, I don't really have a process. I think my current clients like me. They seem happy, but I'm not sure how much value they're getting. You know what? I actually think this prospect thinks I can give them a higher return on their investments. And obviously I don't know that that's true, but I don't want to stop and say it. They kind of asked me how I would go through this process, and I kind of BS'd it a little bit. I know I do a decent job up front with planning, but I don't really have a process to deliver it over time. And I kind of go with more of a let's get together and see how it goes, see what you need business model, which really isn't a business model. So bottom line, you aren't sure that you can clearly articulate what you deliver and be able to deliver on the promise that you make by accepting that $3,000 fee. So here's what happens. You wrap up the meeting, you name your price, the client hems and haws and says they'll get back to you, but you kind of know from experience that's not very likely. So what just happened? You just got kicked in the pants by cognitive dissonance. So let's talk about what cognitive dissonance is. According to Wikipedia, it's the occurrence of cognitive dissonance is a consequence of a person performing an action that contradicts the person's beliefs, ideals, and values. So basically what you just said or didn't match what you believe. So how does that affect you? It's very simple. You were trying to sell the client on something that you didn't actually believe in. You didn't believe with certainty that the client was better off being your client, or the prospect was better off being your client. You didn't have a process to deliver the comprehensive financial planning that you were promising, and you weren't sure that you could meet the expectations that the prospect had. And so the prospect felt that cognitive dissonance, and even though they didn't know why, they didn't feel certain that they wanted to work with you. Now imagine for a second that you had a process with a well-defined business model. You could explain your process, exactly how many meetings and what agendas you would cover during those meetings. You were confident that you had a process to keep the prospect's financial life in order year after year, and you had a fair and easy to understand fee structure, so that when you told them it was going to be $3,000 for their initial planning, you believed that they would get every penny's worth of value out of that, and maybe even multiples of that in value. So how would the end of that meeting feel for the prospect? If they needed what you described, they would likely feel your sense of confidence, your alignment, and be ready to move forward. Here's the problem. It's not really a problem, but good-hearted, honest people don't like to lie. And if you're selling something that you don't have full belief in, you're lying just a little bit. I challenge you to build a high-value, client-centric, comprehensive financial planning experience that you truly believe in. And when you do that, you won't suffer from cognitive dissonance any longer. Prospects will feel that difference and be ready to hire you sooner and with more conviction. I hope that you've enjoyed our discussion about getting kicked in the pants by cognitive dissonance. If you have any questions or feedback, I would love to hear from you. You could email me, but I would much rather hear from you in our new closed Facebook group. It's called the Intentional Advisor Mastermind Group. You can find it on Facebook by searching the Intentional Advisor Mastermind Group, or you can follow the link with this video. If you want to help me build the Intentional Advisor community, please share this video and invite your advisor friends to the Facebook group. Thank you for joining me today, and remember that at the Intentional Advisor, we help you build your practice with purpose and on purpose.